Ladies and gentlemen, fellow citizens, and all who believe in justice and the pursuit of freedom, today, we stand at a crossroads. A moment in history where a choice is before us, a choice that will shape our future and define the integrity of our actions. The story that unfolds is not just about numbers, or politics, or gold. It is about the very essence of who we are as a people. It is about our dignity, our sovereignty, and our unyielding spirit to choose our own path. The world often offers us relief, but sometimes that relief comes at a price that we cannot afford, a price that costs us more than just money. It costs us our independence, it costs us our very soul. When an offer comes our way, promising billions in exchange for our future, we must ask ourselves, what is the true cost of that promise? What do we lose when we accept something that seems too good to be true? Today we are faced with a decision of monumental consequence, a decision that speaks not just to our present, but to the future generations of this land, to our children, our grandchildren, and all who will walk in the footsteps of those who stood here before. There is a story, an unspoken truth, that many would rather keep hidden. A story about resources, about wealth, and about the power that comes with control. It is said that there are those who would offer us the world, while holding in their hands something far more valuable, something that could change the course of nations. A treasure so vast, yet unseen, a treasure that could secure a future of self-determination. But here's the truth we must hold on to. We are not beggars. We are not here to sell ourselves, our future, or our dignity for promises wrapped in gold. We are a people who have known struggle. We have known hardship. But we have never been afraid to stand for what is right. We know the value of self-respect and we know the weight of compromise. Some may ask, why reject an offer of billions? Why turn away from a lifeline? And to that I say, because our freedom cannot be bought. Our worth is not for sale. When we accept help at the cost of our autonomy, we trade one form of struggle for another. One where we lose our ability to decide our own fate. That is not a choice we will make, no matter the price. There are those who believe that we are weak, that we cannot survive without outside aid, but they do not understand the strength that lives in our hearts. We have within us the power to build, to rise, and to carve a future that is truly ours. It is not in the hands of others, nor in the promises of quick fixes, that our future lies. It is in our own hands, through unity, through sacrifice, and through the unwavering belief that we are capable of more. We reject the notion that we must be indebted to anyone. We reject the idea that we must sacrifice our pride for a few coins. The true value of a nation is not in the wealth it holds, but in the strength of its people, in the courage to say no when necessary, and the wisdom to say yes when it leads to true empowerment. This is our time. This is our moment to stand tall and show the world that we will not be defined by the weight of others' expectations. We will define our own path, and we will walk it with heads held high. Let us not be swayed by the promises of those who do not see us for who we truly are. Let us remember that the true riches of our nation are not measured in gold, but in the hearts and minds of our people, in the courage we show every day, in the unity we share. Together we can build a future where we are not beholden to anyone. Together we can rise above the challenges, and with pride we can say that we were never afraid to choose the harder, yet more rewarding path. Our future is ours to create. Our destiny is in our hands. Let us move forward together, with strength, with pride, and with the unshakable belief that we are capable of greatness. In a world that is increasingly interconnected, the offers of aid and relief from outside sources can seem like a lifeline, especially during times of crisis or economic difficulty. But behind every offer of help, there is often a hidden agenda. External aid, while presented as a solution to immediate challenges, can come with consequences far greater than the relief it promises. It can strip us of our sovereignty and undermine our ability to make decisions for our own future. When we accept such aid, we risk exchanging our freedom of choice for temporary benefits, and that is a cost too high to pay. We must understand that sovereignty is not just a political concept, it is the very essence of our identity as a people. Sovereignty means that we have the right to determine our own path, without being dictated to by external forces. It means that we as a nation have the power to make decisions that are in our best interest, and we are not beholden to the will of others. External control, no matter how well-intentioned, seeks to undermine that power. It imposes limitations on how we can govern ourselves, restricts our capacity to innovate, and weakens our collective will to rise above adversity. Consider the historical context in which nations have sought assistance from outside powers. Time and again we have seen how the promise of relief has turned into a chain that binds countries to foreign interests, making them dependent on forces that do not have their best interests at heart. These external agents are often driven by economic motives, political leverage, or a desire to control resources that do not belong to them. They may offer temporary relief, but in doing so they ensure long-term dependence. This kind of assistance creates a cycle where the recipient nation becomes unable to stand on its own, continually relying on the goodwill of those who hold the power. By accepting external aid, we are essentially giving up our ability to govern ourselves fully. The decisions made for us by outside forces are not made with our culture, history, or future in mind. They are made with the interests of the donor at the forefront. While the immediate effects may seem positive, in the long run we may find ourselves trapped in a web of obligations that limit our potential. Our choices become constrained, our resources become controlled, and our direction becomes uncertain. We risk losing the very autonomy that is necessary for true progress. We must not allow our struggles, no matter how difficult they may be, to become the reason we surrender our self-determination. Yes, the challenges we face may feel insurmountable at times. Yes, the promises of immediate relief can be tempting when we are in the midst of hardship. But we must ask ourselves, what is the true cost of that relief? Will it be worth it if it means we lose our ability to decide our future? Will it be worth it if it means our children inherit a nation that is no longer theirs to shape? It is vital that we recognize the inherent strength that exists within our nation, within our people. We have faced adversity before, and we have risen each time, stronger than before. We do not need to sacrifice our future to solve our present problems. The solution lies within us, not in external hands that seek to control, but in our own hearts and minds. We must trust in our ability to find sustainable, long-term solutions that do not come at the expense of our autonomy. Instead of relying on others to define our destiny, we must embrace the power of self-reliance. We have the resources, the creativity, and the resilience to build a future where we do not have to rely on external control. Our sovereignty is our most precious asset. When we give it away, we not only lose control over our present, but also jeopardize the future we hope to build. Let us not be fooled by the immediate comforts that come with external aid. Let us stand firm in our belief that our destiny belongs to us alone. Let us reject any offer that asks us to trade our freedom for temporary relief, and let us commit to building a future where we can stand proudly on our own 2 feet. The right to choose our own future is not a gift that can be given. It is a birthright we must protect, defend, and cherish at all costs. For in our ability to determine our own future lies our true strength. In times of crisis or hardship, when hope seems fleeting and survival becomes the primary concern, the offers of assistance from the outside world can appear to be a beacon of light. When billions of dollars in relief are dangled before us, it is easy to get lost in the allure of immediate help. After all, the need for food, healthcare, and rebuilding is urgent, and such offers may seem like the answer to all our prayers. But we must stop and think critically, for these promises often come with hidden costs that reach far beyond the immediate relief and linger long after the aid has arrived. What price are we truly paying when we accept such offers? The truth is, the cost is not always monetary. These offers, while seemingly generous, often come with strings attached. Strings that slowly erode our power to make decisions for ourselves, our sovereignty, and our future. We are not just accepting money, we are accepting the terms that come with it. The promises of relief are rarely unconditional. They are tied to demands, expectations, and compromises that can undermine our very independence. The most insidious cost of these promises is the loss of our freedom. Every time we accept external aid, we risk losing control over our own destiny. The offer of billions may promise to help us overcome our current challenges, but what we must ask is at what cost to our future? Who will control the terms of that relief? Who will decide how the funds are used, or which policies are implemented in exchange for that aid? When we rely on the goodwill of others, we allow them to influence the course of our development, and in many cases dictate the choices we make as a nation. That is a price far too high to pay. It is not just the immediate financial terms that we should consider. The true cost of external aid often reveals itself over time, as we find ourselves locked into agreements that limit our options, our ability to innovate, and our capacity to act in our own best interests. In exchange for the relief offered, we may be forced to adopt economic policies, governance structures, or trade agreements that do not align with our values or priorities. These decisions are not made by us, but by those who hold the purse string. Our ability to shape our own future, to design policies that reflect our needs and aspirations, is compromised in the process. This is not just about economics. It is about power. When we accept aid from others, we trade one form of power for another. We may find ourselves beholden to external forces, dependent on them for continued support, or for access to resources we cannot procure on our own. The promises of relief may seem like a lifeline, but they are often a subtle form of control, a way to keep us in a state of dependency, rather than fostering the strength to rise on our own. Over time we may come to rely on these external sources, not out of necessity, but out of habit. And as we do, we slowly surrender our ability to chart our own course. True strength does not lie in the acceptance of aid, no matter how well-intentioned it may be. True strength lies in our ability to stand on our own, to confront challenges head-on, and to create solutions that are tailored to our unique circumstances. Strength lies in resilience. The resilience to weather storms without losing sight of our core values. The resilience to build a future on our terms, not someone else's. It is in our unity, in our collective will, and in our ability to make difficult decisions for the long-term good of our nation. We must learn to reject offers that come with hidden costs. It is tempting to take the quick fix, to accept the promise of immediate relief, but we must resist. We must ask ourselves, will this aid truly help us in the long run, or will it merely delay the inevitable, keeping us shackled to the same cycle of dependency? Is the price of this help worth the loss of our ability to make our own choices? The hidden cost of promises is far greater than the initial relief they offer. The real cost is the erosion of our freedom, our power to make decisions, and our future. We cannot afford to trade our independence for temporary gains. The true path to strength, prosperity, and self-determination lies not in relying on external promises, but in our ability to forge our own path, to create solutions that reflect our values, and to build a future where we are no longer dependent on anyone but ourselves. Only by rejecting the hidden costs of promises can we truly claim our freedom and shape our own destiny. Throughout history, our people have faced unimaginable challenges, war, famine, disease, oppression, but through it all, we have remained steadfast. We have endured hardships that many would have succumbed to, yet we stand here today, with our heads held high, our hearts full of resilience, and our dignity intact. We have seen the worst that life has to offer, but we have never lost the most important thing we possess, our sense of pride. This pride is not born from arrogance, or a sense of superiority. It is rooted in the knowledge that we are capable of overcoming whatever comes our way. It is a pride that comes from within, from knowing that our value does not lie in what others may offer us, but in the strength and unity we draw from one another. Despite the difficult circumstances we face, we are not beggars. We are not here to plead for help or accept aid that comes at the cost of our identity, our values, or our future. There is a fundamental difference between accepting assistance when it is necessary, and bowing down in exchange for promises that offer little more than false hope. We must reject the notion that our worth is defined by what others are willing to give us. We have lived without the luxuries that others may take for granted, but that does not mean we are desperate or incapable of standing on our own 2 feet. The offers we receive, no matter how grand they may seem, are often laden with strings that seek to strip us of the very essence of who we are. We must not be fooled by temporary relief that leaves us in chains in the long run. Our dignity is not something that can be bought or sold. It is something that we hold in the highest regard, something that can never be taken from us as long as we are true to ourselves. It is easy to be seduced by promises of quick fixes, to believe that the path to prosperity lies in the hands of others. But when we accept help that comes with conditions that compromise our integrity, we are not accepting a solution, we are accepting a trade, and that trade costs us more than we can afford. We are asked to exchange our future for a fleeting moment of relief, to give up our power to decide our own fate in exchange for promises that are often unfulfilled or unsubstantiated. We must never forget that true liberation is not found in the hands of others. It is not given to us by foreign powers, corporations, or external forces. True freedom comes when we are able to chart our own course, when we take responsibility for our own destiny, and when we refuse to allow anyone to define our worth. To sell our pride for promises that do not guarantee growth or sustainable progress is to deny ourselves the very essence of what it means to be free. We must not confuse temporary aid with long-term independence. In seeking relief, we must never lose sight of the fact that we are not weak, nor are we incapable. Our strength lies not in the help we receive, but in our ability to rise above the challenges we face, to look within and find the resources to build a better future for ourselves. We have lived through hardships, but we have also grown stronger from them. Every challenge we have faced has been an opportunity for growth, an opportunity to prove that we can survive and thrive on our own terms. We have seen how quickly external aid can dry up, how promises made from afar often fall short of expectations. But we have also seen the power of resilience, the power of a united people who, despite all odds, refuse to give up. This is the strength we must draw from. This is the strength that will guide us forward. We must not allow ourselves to be seen as beggars or dependents, nor should we allow others to define us in this way. We are capable of more than just surviving. We are capable of building, of creating, and of forging a future that is shaped by our hands, not by the promises of others. We are not here to beg for scraps. We are here to claim our rightful place in the world. Our future is not for sale, and neither is our dignity. We must stand tall and reject any offer that comes at the cost of our self-respect and our future. Our pride is a reflection of the resilience that runs through our veins, of the sacrifices made by those who came before us, and of the dreams we hold for those who will come after us. We will not trade it for the empty promises of temporary relief. Instead, we will continue to fight for a future where we are in control, where we are the masters of our own destiny, and where we can rise on our own terms, without compromise. We are not beggars. We are a people of strength, of dignity, and of pride. We are capable of shaping our own future, and we will never allow anyone to take that power from us. The path to true liberation is not through the charity of others. It is through our own strength, our unity, and our unwavering commitment to rise, not as dependents, but as free, proud people who can stand on our own. The true power of any nation does not rest in its natural resources, its external wealth, or its geopolitical alliances. While these factors can play a role in a nation's development, they are not the bedrock of lasting prosperity or true strength. The real power of a nation is found within the hearts and minds of its people, their resilience, their unity, and their unwavering determination to overcome challenges and rise above adversity. It is the collective spirit of the people, their ability to come together in the face of hardship, and their refusal to give up that ultimately determines the strength of a nation. And this power, this strength, is something that no external force can ever take from us. When we look around us, we see a people who have faced countless challenges, economic struggles, political upheaval, natural disasters, and much more. And yet, despite all of this, we have not been defeated. We have not been broken. Time and again, we have risen from the ashes of hardship and forged ahead. This is the true testament to our strength, the ability to endure, to adapt, and to rise again when it seems impossible. It is this resilience, the unwavering belief that we can face any challenge and overcome it, that forms the foundation of our strength as a nation. But resilience alone is not enough. The strength of a nation is also found in its unity. When we come together as one, when we set aside our differences and focus on our shared goals, there is nothing that can stand in our way. Unity is a force that can move mountains. It is the energy that fuels the collective will of a people, allowing them to accomplish what might seem impossible. A united people bound by common purpose can weather any storm, face any obstacle, and emerge victorious on the other side. Unity is the power that enables us to build a future on our own terms. It is what allows us to take control of our destiny, to decide for ourselves what our priorities are, and how we will move forward. When we are united, we become unstoppable. The external forces that seek to manipulate or control us lose their power, because we have already decided that we will not be swayed by the promises or pressures of others. Our future is in our hands, and we will shape it according to our values, our needs, and our dreams. It is easy to look at the wealth of other nations, at the resources they have at their disposal, and believe that their success is the result of their abundance. It is tempting to think that if we had more wealth, more resources, more aid from outside, our problems would be solved. But that belief is a fallacy. The true strength of a nation is not determined by its material possessions, but by the strength and determination of its people. Wealth and resources may come and go, but the power of unity and resilience is everlasting. We have within us everything we need to build the future we deserve. We have the creativity, the drive, and the determination to create solutions to the problems we face. We do not need to rely on external forces to tell us how to solve our problems, or to dictate the course of our development. We are fully capable of shaping our own future, of building a nation that reflects our values and aspirations. The path forward is not through dependence on others, but through self-reliance and empowerment. Every challenge we face is an opportunity for growth. Every setback is a lesson that teaches us how to rise higher and move forward stronger. We have faced economic challenges, political struggles, and social unrest, but each time we have come through it with a deeper sense of purpose and unity. Our strength lies in our ability to learn from adversity, to adapt to changing circumstances, and to use those lessons to create a better tomorrow. The world may offer us assistance, but we must remember that true strength is not found in the generosity of others. It is found in our ability to stand tall on our own. We have the power within us to rise, to innovate, and to create a future that is not dependent on external forces, but is built on the foundation of our own resilience and unity. We do not need to wait for others to lead the way. We are the ones who will define our future. In the end, it is not the wealth of a nation that makes it powerful. It is the strength of its people. It is the spirit of the people, their will to persevere, their unity in the face of adversity, and their determination to carve out a future that is theirs alone. We have within us the strength to rise above any challenge, and to build a future where we are no longer dependent on others, but are fully capable of determining our own destiny. This is our true power, and it is something that no one can ever take away from us. In moments of crisis or hardship, it is natural for us to seek help, to look for a way out of the challenges that seem too overwhelming to face alone. The offers of external aid can seem like a lifeline, a promise of relief from suffering, hunger, and uncertainty. But we must be cautious, for not all help is as it appears. The reality is that many times these offers come with hidden costs, costs that we cannot afford to pay. When we accept external aid at the expense of our independence, we are not only compromising our freedom, but also trading our future for a temporary and often illusory relief. The decision to accept aid, particularly when it comes with conditions, must be made with great care. The true cost of such aid is not always immediately visible. On the surface it may seem like the answer to our most pressing needs. But as the saying goes, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. What seems like a hand extended in solidarity can quickly become a chain that binds us to foreign interests and external powers. The moment we accept assistance that comes with strings attached, we lose the power to control our own destiny. Our independence is compromised, and we find ourselves at the mercy of those who hold the purse strings. We cannot afford to make this trade. We are not weak. We are not helpless. We have the strength, the resources, and the resilience to face our challenges and overcome them without surrendering our autonomy. We are a people who have survived the toughest of times. Our history is filled with struggles, with adversity, and with countless moments where we were told that we would not make it. Yet here we are, still standing strong, still determined to forge a path that is ours to walk. Our worth is not defined by what others are willing to give us, or by what they believe we are capable of. Our worth is inherent, drawn from the strength of our people, our culture, and our collective will to rise above. Accepting aid at the cost of our independence is a form of compromise that we must avoid at all costs. It is not just about receiving money or resources, it is about what we lose in the process. When we agree to terms that dictate how we must manage our economy, our resources, or our governance, we lose the power to make decisions that are in the best interest of our nation. We lose the freedom to decide how we will shape our future. And that is not a cost that any of us should be willing to bear. This does not mean that we should reject all forms of external assistance. There is a place for genuine solidarity, for partnerships that help us in times of crisis without compromising our sovereignty. But we must always remain vigilant. We must be able to distinguish between aid that empowers and aid that enslaves. When the relief offered comes with demands that undermine our independence, when it requires us to sacrifice our values, our resources, or our future in exchange for temporary relief, then it is not aid at all. It is a bargain that we should refuse to make. The promise of relief often comes with the illusion of safety, of quick solutions to deep-rooted problems. But history has shown us that such promises rarely deliver lasting change. Instead, they create a cycle of dependence, where the recipient nation is forever tied to external forces, constantly looking for the next handout, never able to stand on its own 2 feet. This is not the future we want for ourselves, nor the future we want to build for future generations. We are not meant to live in perpetual reliance on others. Our future should not be dictated by forces beyond our control, nor should our growth be determined by the conditions imposed by others. We must remember that our true strength lies not in external aid, but in our ability to rely on ourselves. Our worth is not for sale, and neither is our future. We have the ingenuity, the creativity, and the determination to build a future that is self-sustaining, that reflects our values, and that puts our needs first. It will not be easy, and it will require sacrifice, but we have always risen to the challenge. We have always found a way when others doubted us. The false promises of relief are a trap that seeks to weaken us, to undermine our spirit, and to keep us from realizing our true potential. We must reject these false promises, not out of pride, but out of a deep respect for our independence and our future. The relief that we seek must come from within, built on our own terms and according to our own needs. We will not be indebted to anyone for a future that does not belong to them. Our path to prosperity and self-sufficiency is in our hands, and it is up to us to shape it. We are not weak, and we will not let anyone make us feel that we are. Our dignity, our independence, and our future are not for sale. The true relief we seek will come not from the promises of others, but from our own resilience, unity, and determination to build a future that is ours to own. The future of our nation is not something that will be handed to us. It is something that we must create with our own hands, our own determination, and our collective will. We have been through times of trial and hardship, but we have also proven that we possess the strength to overcome adversity. It is now time for us to seize the aims of our future, to shape it according to our values and aspirations. The road ahead will not be easy, but by standing together, rejecting compromises and focusing on the power within us, we can build a future that reflects our true potential, one that is defined by pride, unity, and self-reliance. We are not a people who are easily broken. Throughout history, we have faced countless challenges, from colonialism and oppression to economic turmoil and political instability, and yet we have always found a way to rise. This resilience is not just a trait, it is our foundation. It is this inner strength that has carried us through the darkest of times and will continue to propel us forward. However, for us to truly unlock our potential, we must now take the next step. We must move beyond merely surviving. We must move toward thriving, and that requires a unified vision for the future. Unity is the key to that vision. When we stand together, we are unstoppable. Our greatest strength lies in our ability to come together as one people, united in purpose and in spirit. There is power in numbers, yes, but more importantly, there is power in shared values. By focusing on what unites us instead of what divides us, we can create a society that is greater than the sum of its parts. Unity is what transforms individual efforts into collective action. It is the force that turns small steps into giant leaps. When we are united, we can confront any challenge, face any obstacle, and move forward with confidence. But unity does not happen by chance. It is something that we must actively nurture and protect. It requires a shared commitment to common goals, a recognition that our destinies are tied together, and a refusal to let divisions weaken us. The foundation of this unity must be pride. Pride in who we are, pride in where we come from, and pride in the future we are building. Pride is not about arrogance, it is about self-respect and dignity. It is about knowing that we are worthy of greatness, and that we have the capacity to achieve it. For too long we have been told that our worth is defined by what we lack or by what others are willing to give us. But that is a false narrative. Our true worth comes from within, from the strength, resilience, and potential that are inherent in every one of us. We must never allow ourselves to forget that. Our pride is a reflection of the sacrifices made by those who came before us, who fought for our freedom, who struggled so that we might have the opportunity to build something better. Their legacy is our foundation, and it is one we must honor every single day. When we embrace unity and pride, we also embrace self-reliance. For too long, we have been made to feel that our future depends on external forces, that our success is determined by others' decisions and actions. But that is a trap. A belief that keeps us dependent and weak. The truth is that we have everything we need to build the future we deserve. Our resources, our talents, our creativity, and our collective spirit are all that we need. We do not need to wait for permission or rely on others to define our destiny. Our future is ours to create, and we are more than capable of doing so. Self-reliance does not mean isolation or rejecting all forms of collaboration. It means taking responsibility for our own path, making decisions that are in our best interest, and building systems that serve us, not others. It means having the confidence to trust in our abilities, to invest in our own development, and to support each other as we work toward our shared goals. We have already proven that we can endure hardship, but now it is time to prove that we can thrive on our own terms. A future built on unity and pride is not just a dream, it is a reality that is within our reach. But to achieve it, we must reject compromises that undermine our strength and our independence. We must refuse to be swayed by the promises of external forces that seek to control us or limit our potential. We must remember that our worth is not for sale, and that our future is something we must build ourselves. Every step we take toward that future must be a step forward, not backward, a step toward self-determination, not dependence. The journey ahead will not be easy, but it is ours to take. We have the power to shape our future, to create a society where we are in control of our destiny, where we build a nation that reflects our values, our strength, and our pride. When we stand together, reject false compromises, and focus on the power within us, we can build a future that is truly our own, a future that will be a testament to our resilience, our unity, and our unwavering belief in the greatness that lies within us all.